Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, we're going to rebuild a piece of the preview you're watching right now. So let's jump straight in. I've already created 3 text layers inside my composition, so I'll open the first one up, head into the Text Animator section, and add an Opacity animator. Inside that animator, I'll take opacity all the way down to 0, and then in the Range Selector, I'll animate start from 0 to 100, which makes the letters reveal themselves one after another. I'll also pull the smoothness down a little because that gives the reveal a crisper, snappier feel instead of a soft, mushy fade. Now I'll select that animator, copy it, and paste it onto my other 2 text layers, so all 3 share exactly the same animation. On the second line, the one in the middle, I'll move the keyframes closer together, simply because it has fewer characters and it shouldn't take as long to reveal. Then I'll slide the second and third layers forward in the timeline, so the lines show up in order instead of all at once. Next, I'll select the 2 outer lines, Layer 1 and Layer 3, and once every line has appeared and all the keyframes are finished, I'll hit Ctrl-Shift-D to split those layers right at the playhead. I'll change their layer colors too, just so it's easier to keep track of everything. Now, I'll pre-compose each of those 2 split pieces separately, and I'll step inside one of them, because from here, we need a tool that can break the text apart into individual letters. And that's where MotionDesk Panel comes in. You can download and install it from MotionDeskPanel.com, and it runs right inside After Effects without a pile of separate extensions, each eating up their own space on your screen. Everything lives in one single panel, and from the Market section, I can install whatever tool I need in seconds, with no wrestling with different installers and no restarting After Effects afterwards. So from the panel, I'll launch Text Splitter, set Split By to Character, and apply it to my text layer. And just like that, every letter becomes its own layer. Now let's bring in our most popular tool, PhysicDesk, and I'll launch it straight from the panel. I'll create a new project that matches my composition, then press the tilde key to throw the tool into full screen, so I have plenty of room to work. After that, I'll hit Import Layers to pull all of my letters into the simulation, and inside the Import panel, I'll set every layer to sleeping mode, although you could absolutely do that after importing as well. With everything inside, I'll select all the letters and set Gravity to 0, because I don't want anything falling just yet. Then I'll grab the first layer, the letter T, switch its mode to Dynamic, and turn on Anchor Spring. I'll press Click Point to define the second point that the letter travels toward. And then I'll raise the strength value in the Anchor Spring settings so the motion actually has some snap to it. Over in the World tab, I'll hide the walls, because otherwise the letters bounce off the boundaries instead of flying cleanly out of the scene. And finally, I'll hit Record to capture the simulation. And then export, just like that. Now, the second split piece needs exactly the same treatment, only heading in the opposite direction, and I'll run through it quickly without narrating, so you can watch the whole process one more time. And there's our result. Now let's move on to the second part of the tutorial. In this composition, I've got a single text layer, and I want its font to change in a special way, just like you saw in the preview. I'll launch Font Animator, jump into the Range tab, pick a font, and hit Add Font Range. Then I'll press Add Font Range 2 more times with the exact same font, so I end up with 3 font range effects stacked on my layer. For now, I'll disable the bottom 2 effects, so I can work on the first one without any distractions. I'll set units to percentage, open up the percentage section, and set end range to a small value, something like 15. Then, over in the settings section, I'll pick a color and turn on the Apply Color checkbox, so the color gets applied along with the font. Now we need to animate offset range, and make sure you turn off the loop offset checkbox. I'll animate it from a negative value all the way past 100, so the effect travels completely across the text and exits on the other side. Now I'll enable the second font range and repeat the same steps on it, this time with a different color. And I'll place the offset range keyframes slightly later in the timeline, so the 2 waves chase each other instead of moving together. Then we move on to the third font range, and for this one, I'm only going to animate end range, and I'll position the keyframes so it shows up after the first 2 have finished. Next, I'll split the text layer just after the keyframes using Ctrl-Shift-D. On this new layer, I'll remove the font ranges from the active ranges list inside the tool, and then I'll change the text font so it matches the last font change from the previous layer. That way the cut is invisible, and we can continue doing completely different things to this second piece of text. So now I'll head into the Replace tab, set Mode to Find, and type my original text and my replacement text into their boxes. I'll pick a font and press Add Replace Range. Then in the settings, I'll create keyframes on end range, and there's our result. And that's it for this one. If you want to try these tools yourself, you can grab everything from MotionDeskPanel.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.